Hello everyone, welcome back to our series on Inside Executive Search. Today, let me begin with a simple question. If you woke up 10 years from now, would the skills that made you successful today, can it still make you successful then? This is a question I've been reflecting on deeply. Over the last 2 decades, every conversation that I've had has reinforced one simple truth. Leadership is never static. It evolves with the world around it. Every decade quietly rewrites the success rules. There was a time when being able to type was considered a specialized skill. Then came spreadsheets, and anyone proficient in Excel was seen as indispensable. A decade later, digital transformation became the buzzword, and the organizations desperately searched for leaders who understood technology. Today, these are no longer competitive advantages, they are simple expectations. History teaches us something profound. Skills rarely disappear, they become ordinary. And once everyone possesses them, they no longer are a differentiator. That is why I believe we are asking the wrong question. Most executives ask, what new skills should I acquire? I believe the better question is, which of the skills I currently rely on will stop making me exceptional? Because the future doesn't belong to those who accumulate the most skills. It belongs to those who can reinvent themselves. Let me now give you my perspective on skills that won't matter in the future. Number one, being the smartest person in the room will no longer be enough. For decades, organizations celebrated leaders who had all the answers. The smartest person in the room naturally became the leader in the room. But we've entered a new era where AI can analyze millions of data points in seconds, summarize industries, compare competitors, generate remarkable intelligent answers. If everyone has access to intelligence, intelligence itself stops becoming a differentiator. The future leaders won't be recognized because they know the most. They'll be recognized because they ask better questions than everyone else. Curiosity will become more valuable than certainty. Judgment will become more valuable than knowledge. 2. Information is becoming a commodity. Wisdom is becoming premium. There was a time when information itself was power. Executives traveled across continents simply to understand competitors, customers, markets, because information was scarce. Today, information is in abundance. Within minutes, AI can generate market intelligence, industry reports, financial analysis. The advantage no longer lies in collecting information. It lies in interpreting it better than everyone else. Tomorrow's leaders will not be paid for what they know. They will be paid for what they understand. Third, fancy PowerPoint presentations will never replace clarity of thought. Let's be honest, many organizations have confused presentation skills with strategic thinking. I have seen beautiful design presentations supporting poor decisions, and I have seen simple conversations leading to great outcomes. Boards rarely remember your slides, they remember your thinking. The leaders of the future will simplify complexity instead of decorating it. Because clarity, not cosmetics, is what inspires confidence. Number 4, leadership will shift from authority to influence. For generations, leadership was built on hierarchy. People followed because someone occupied the corner office. That world is changing rapidly. Today's workforce is more informed, more connected, and far less influenced by titles. The leaders who succeed over the next decade will not command respect because of their designations. They will earn it because of their credibility, empathy, and authenticity. Number five, remembering facts will no longer impress anyone. Earlier leaders impressed others by remembering numbers, reports, facts. Today, AI remembers everything. Tomorrow, nobody will admire you because you can recall last quarter's sales figures from memory. They will admire you because you connected seemingly unrelated ideas, because you exercised sound judgment, because you made the right decision when there wasn't an obvious answer. Knowledge is becoming free. Insight is becoming rare. Number six, technical expertise alone will stop creating great leaders. Deep expertise will always matter, but expertise without perspective is becoming increasingly limiting. The future belongs to leaders who can connect disciplines rather than remain confined within them. Finance, technology, operations, culture, customer experience, innovation. The next generation of leaders will not merely specialize, they will integrate all of it. 7. Being busy is not the same as being effective. Corporate life has romanticized busyness. Back to back meetings, overflowing inboxes, constant travel, yet activity has never been the same as achievement. The leaders I admire most are rarely the busiest person in the room. They are usually the clearest thinkers. The future will reward leverage, not labor. Impact, not number of hours. Results, not extended exhaustions. Number 8, micromanagement will become a leadership liability. Technology has changed leadership forever. Leaders now have access to dashboards, have access to matrices, operational visibility in real time. The challenge is no longer control, it is trust. Great organizations don't scale because leaders supervise every decision. They scale because leaders build systems that allow good decisions to happen without them being there. Number 9, individual brilliance will give way to collective intelligence. For decades, business celebrated the hero CEO, the lone visionary, an extraordinary individual. But the challenges organizations face today are simply too complex for one person to solve. The leaders who leave a lasting legacy won't necessarily be the smartest people in the room. They'll be the people who build rooms filled with extraordinary talent. The future belongs to leaders who multiply intelligence, not merely just possess it. So, what will matter instead? If these skills become ordinary, what becomes extraordinary? I believe the next decade will reward qualities that technology cannot replicate: judgment, curiosity, adaptability, integrity, emotional intelligence, systems thinking, learning agility, and most importantly, courage. The ability to make difficult decisions with incomplete information. And perhaps most importantly, the ability to help other people grow. Because leadership has never really been about knowing more. It has always been about enabling others to achieve more. Here's what my final thoughts are. As a headhunter, I've spent years trying to understand what separates exceptional leaders from merely successful ones. And I have come to believe that the greatest predictor of future success is not intelligence, not experience, nor technical expertise. It is the willingness to continuously reinvent oneself. The biggest disruption of the next decade will not be AI. Technology has always been a disruptor. The real disruption will be our willingness or our reluctance to let go of the identities that made us successful yesterday. Because every leader eventually reaches a moment where experience begins to compete with curiosity. The leaders who continue to thrive will choose curiosity. Signing off, Rajesh Pandit.